Hello and welcome back to the Metropole Grid. My name is Andre, and once again, I have the pleasure of being joined by Benoit Gascon.
Hey everyone.
Hey. So we have a new series of games for you. This was just a summer kit. This is at a place called BD Cosmos, which is out in Laval, which is technically off the island of Montreal. It's right outside. You can start making right turns at red lights.
Yeah.
It's a wild, different world.
You can still
out there.
get there by metro station, which is okay.
Very pleasant. So this is actually a really small tournament. I think only 9 people showed up to the day, so it was only 3 rounds, which is the shortest Netrunner thing I've ever played. If you had a bye, you played maybe for 2 hours. It's kind of unfortunate. But this is good. So on the left, we have Andre. On the right is me. I'm also named Andre. But Andre on the left, he hasn't played Netrunner in public since, I believe, first season.
Okay.
He showed up and he had all his he had a Netrunner box that had Gabe on it. I haven't seen these before. This is before my time. It also had the art for Trim Off Contact on it.
Cool.
Because that was from season 1.
Yeah, I have one, I think.
How is that? That's really cool.
Yeah.
So he hasn't played in a while. This is his first attempt coming out in public. This is really cool. I'm really excited to see new faces here in Montreal. He's going to be playing a Max deck. When you sit down from Max, what do you think? What are you worried about?
You gotta be scared of Keyhole decks, I guess, or Faust decks now, maybe.
Yeah.
And Max might not be the best one, but you're still drawing more, so maybe you have more cards.
Right. So regular Regas Max is a thing, and it's very consistent. I haven't seen it at all in Montreal.
Yeah. No, it's not that often.
No,
Yeah.
which is surprising because I'm pretty sure.
I think you were one of the biggest Max player when Max was released.
I was, but I played the Keyhole Siphon Max like a
champion.
Yeah, that's annoying to everyone. Man, shuffling your deck more than 5 times a game is a problem. I think Andre's doing. I know how this game went.
Yeah.
He is doing the Keyhole Siphon.
My first time watching the game as I comment, so we'll see.
Right.
That might be interesting.
Cool. So I'm on the right playing my Titan deck. We uploaded a video from the regionals. This is a very similar deck. In fact, I only had, I think, 10 minutes to change the deck before this thing started. So I'm maybe even short 1 influence.
Any of the new cards that you included, or
not new cards?
Spiderweb?
Spiderweb's a thing.
Okay,
I put in 1 Sea Source instead of a mid-seasons, which would help me against Imp. If you watched the last game, that was painful. Man, Sea Source would have helped. So we'll see how this goes. All right, so we have some starts. I have a really good start. You have the hedge fund,
installed twice,
double ice, and then on the other side, Max gets some money from day job.
Looks like you just draw more. You want to see your deck basically relies on scoring agenda early, so you have to draw a lot in the beginning, just so you see ice that end the run that you can put your agenda behind. So the runner has to pay credits just to get in. So you can now mid-season and see source.
I remember one of the changes I also did to this deck is I went from 2 Crisium, 1 CVS to 2 CVS, 1 Crisium. And this is probably the game where you want Crisium the most.
Against Siphon, yeah, of course.
So Eater is a very ubiquitous Max Keyhole type of breaker. And the thing is, when you use that to break ice, when you use that program, you cannot access any cards. So you can't trash a Crisium if it's in that server. So that really shuts down Keyhole and Siphon, a lot of other stuff. So Andre is going to play a Knight and throw that on and bravely check some ice. That's a Marimati. Not a lot for me to res. It's going to be an equal cost for him to break. That's a pretty good trade for me. It looks like he is going to go in and see.
And clearly he was just wanting you to res the ice just so you can know what ice he's against and see if he can siphon. I would actually maybe prefer to just face
Blind
check.
siphon?
Yeah. No, just face check.
Oh,
If you're going to install the Knight, maybe just play the siphon.
Yeah.
What ice could it be? Like, at most it's going to cost you 6 or 8.
It depends on what click. If that's an Enigma, you might lose. Oh, yeah.
Just pay 4. You still get your siphon. It's not that bad.
Right.
If not, just face check. See the ice.
Yeah.
And then you can play your Knight and start siphoning it the next turn. Because now you can just overinstall and trash his Knight.
Right. I think Weyland is perhaps the one identity which I'm the most confident face checking against.
Yep.
They have a lot of good end the runs, but that's all it does, end the run. It's not like Jinteki where I'm entirely terrified until I have a killer out.
Even if you see a shadow or something, it's just a trace. Maybe they don't pay more and you just pay to avoid the tag, which is not that bad.
Right. So you see in his hand, he does have that Siphon. That is a possibility at this point.
So you did not trash the knight.
I chose to not trash the knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This deck doesn't have the most ice.
Yeah, and you really want to start scoring your agenda, but one knight is big. It's so big for Anarchs.
Right. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
We have a Siphon.
Yep.
That's going to go through. 2 credits to break, and the money is streaming over. That's a full Siphon. I don't see why he wouldn't. So now the swing is huge. That's a 15 credit swing.
But he has to clear his 2 tags for
He
sure.
definitely does. He did see that I had the traffic accident.
Yeah.
So Siphon in particular is scary.
Yep.
So that's going to slow me down. That's pretty efficient.
Of course.
And now the fact that you can start recurring these Siphons.
Oof.
There's probably 2 in the Max deck, but you have 3 same old things, 3 Deja Vu. That's a lot of Siphons. If you
Why
want
would
them
you
to be.
play only 2? Where do you need the rest of the influence?
Oh, you
in
have to
your
put a
opinion?
Levi in there.
Yeah.
Just about always put a Levi.
So that's it. Just Levi doesn't work with 3 Siphons, right?
Yeah. No, I think you can. That's 12 plus 3. You also want Femme generally.
Okay.
Femme is a really good breaker.
Cool. So only 2 Siphons.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like credit. It's probably a restructure. Yeah. You need money.
So no ice? No ice?
No ice, but that's the thing. As much as he took money from me, I bounced back up. We're still at an equal standing. That's fantastic.
So if he plays another Siphon, you can still be... You'll still have like...
Yeah, I'll be fine.
10 credit, which is enough for another restructure.
Yeah, it's respectable. So the other problem I have facing up, I'm to no surprise playing meat damage in this Weyland deck, and against Anarchs, they have a card, I've Had Worse, which really, really hurts meat damage. So I'm trying to look to see if any I've Had Worse spill into his archives on that, or his heap through that mandatory max crush. He's going to run into R&D. Shadow
Pretty
is
good against Knight.
Great against Knight.
Is he going to pay 4 to get in and see 1 card?
I think you just do the trace.
Expensive.
The trace is 2. Well, clearing a tag is 2 credits and a click, so you probably should just
pay 2.
Pay 2.
Yeah, just break it.
It looks like Andre's gonna let me take that money. That's great.
And pay for the tag and see 1 card.
Yeah,
which
and he's gonna
is
take
a
a hostile.
Yeah,
man, I like hostile. You need a hostile early in Titan because it turns on Archer, and also gives you that money. That's really unfortunate.
If only you've had trash that night with the first ice that
He's going to have an eater or something. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. He's going to go back. That is a CVS. It is not really important at this point in time.
So did he pay 4 to get in?
You know what? I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did because you're still at 14. So.
Yeah, that's expensive. Okay. Yeah. So he also trashed at CVS. I'm okay with that. It'll give me another card to draw.
Yeah.
I think it's actually interesting when you see these low trash assets, the traps, whether you draw them or not. Trash them or not, because you have to remember, if you don't trash it, the Corp draws it, and sometimes that slowing down is really, really good.
So Joshua be on the table for runner, so...
That's risky. You don't want to be tagged. Against Weyland?
Yeah.
That's scary.
I think it's risky.
Yeah. I think very importantly...
Maybe he plays a New Angela City Hall or something.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
that's actually a pretty decent way to get an extra click. You see the top card of the heap that went in through the Max Punk Rock draw was the Levi AR Lab access. There's only 1 in the deck probably. So now there's only 6 cards that are going to be able to allow him to recur his deck. 3 same old things and 3 Deja Vu. So now I'm trying to watch where they go because I need to make sure that they all go into the heap with that Levi so there's no deck recursion.
And you could actually use your your Scourge just to trash them, even if the runner is not careful.
Yeah. So here we go. I install an ice over R&D.
Oh, your shadow was more than enough. Yes. You gained 2 credits out of it, and he paid 6.
Yeah,
to get a 1 point.
I installed that and thought for a bit and decided I should install over it. It's a better idea.
Yeah.
All right, so Liberated's coming out. A wonderful resource to make money. It's a bit slow, but man, there's a lot of credits in there. That's for sure.
So good.
I think he's going to opt not to do the Joshua B. And now what do? You need to find that eater.
Would you, if only he had run, would you see source just to trash the Liberated accounts? Right now, he's at 1 credit. I would do it. That would be great.
Yeah. And then at 1 credit, it's hard to clear the tag. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to Scorch. I want to get cards out of hand.
Yeah.
So the same old thing's on the table. So now I need to tag him and trash the same old thing to ensure no recursion.
So trashing Knight is pretty important because if he needs to use the Deja Vu just to get his Knight, he has less cards to recur his Levi.
So looks like I might go for a score.
Yeah.
That's 2 pieces of ice and something behind it. That's really hard for Max to get into. The only options are Knight and Fem.
Oh yeah, it's pretty expensive.
You can get Fem out for free with the Retrieval Run. But otherwise, that's really hard. And another Siphon, it's worth noting, did end up in the heap. So that could be a same old thing target, but that's probably both of the Siphons down.
So when you start your scoring server, do you wait for having mid-season or Seasource Scorch in your hand, or you just go for it and like...
This might be a big spoiler to the Montreal scene that plays against me, but it depends. Sometimes I won't. Generally, people can assume you do if you act really confidently with that sort of moves.
Okay.
I generally want 2 ice against most runners. It depends. Criminals for sure. There's an SMC out for Shaper for sure. Anarch, it's a bit fiddly. Knight can go through anything. That's not played that often though. Looks like Eater's coming out. So now, things that I'm scared of. Wanton Destruction.
Oh yeah,
That's a cool card. That really hurts meat damage.
well,
combos.
Joshua B is probably there just for that, but
Yes.
then he would be tagged at the end of his turn.
Right.
It's pretty risky,
But on that
you'll
note-
have no end
Yeah.
size.
So I did score the Atlas,
Yeah.
however. So now if he does go in for the Wanton and
Ooh.
trash my whole hand, I can still pull a Scorch
Yep.
out whenever I want, which is incredibly important. I think there is also 3 points of agendas at least in my hand. There is a high risk there. I think that's going to be my next move, trying to get that one.
You could go for one-time destruction for only 3 cards and not be tagged, which
Yeah.
would be great.
It's still good.
Or shadows.
Face check into a shadow. That's more money for me and a tag.
Is he gonna
perhaps.
break?
Oh yeah, so this is interesting. This is really cool with Eater, is that you can choose to break,
Of course,
but then you don't
not
access.
but you can still face check and just
Yeah.
pay 2.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I run into Jinteki stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so and so. I'll pay money. It looks like there's gonna have no break, so we are going to do a trace. We'll see if I boost this trace. I don't remember. Nope, trace 3, and he's gonna boost trace 3. So I get 2 credits. The trace doesn't fire, and he accesses a card. That's the second CVS.
Which is pretty useless for now.
Entirely
against him.
useless.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's any viruses in
No.
his deck,
And
let alone
he's
a
not,
clot.
he's not gonna trash it.
Yeah,
of
that's a
course.
good call. So that's going to go back on top. So now I will be forced to draw that. Man, Siphon would be rough right now. I think so. It would really slow my game down.
Yeah, probably, yeah. And it's also risky to install your agenda now because you can just
Siphon and then go in,
twice and go in or something.
Yep. You also see in Andre's hand the
Player on the left,
yes,
right?
the player on the left is that he does have cutlery in his hand. I think at least 1 knifed. That could eat the Marimati pretty reasonably for 3 credits, and then I'm iceless on our HQ.
I think that's why he's just checking our ND eyes just to check if it's a sentry. So now he needs the fork.
Yeah, for dinner. All right, and hey, there you go.
Yep.
That's a knife. Oh, that art's actually pretty nice. I didn't notice the background. So he's gonna knife through the Marimati. I believe he forgets about the boost of strength, so that's Marimati sliced. I believe.
Sure.
Boom.
Still pretty good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I have the option. I have an agenda in hand.
Yeah.
He did that last click. So
Yeah.
do I want to protect HQ if possible, or just push that agenda?
Do you have ice? That's the biggest question.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're trying for it. Now
I'm gonna go for it.
Siphon is gonna
Siphon's
be,
brutal.
Would be rough. Like
But both of them are in the archives.
just drop the Jackson.
I dropped the Jackson. That was an accident. He didn't notice, which
Okay.
was really, really good.
Cool.
Because if I saw Jackson, I'd run for it. Yeah, I'd trash the Jackson. Why not?
Yeah.
So this is a huge balance because that's a high risk investment. If I can score that,
Oh yeah, you're
so much money.
Yep.
And that's what I also thought. If he siphons me, that's fine because I'll score the high risk perhaps the
Yeah,
next
because
turn.
he cannot keep. Well, I would be
Oh,
afraid of.
There was 2 high risks.
Yep, that's why you put 1
Gee, okay.
because you had 2 in your end.
So that's a
He's gonna
big
go again.
swing.
Maybe see Jackson.
No,
Traffic accident.
That's the thing. If he does siphon me and I manage to score
He can
my high
only
risk,
because he can only siphon once.
Yep.
Because if he has to use same old thing for it. Because we saw both that are in Eep.
Right.
So he has to do same old thing, which is 2 click, and then clearing tags.
you need
is
to
2
clear
click.
tags. Yeah.
So he can only do siphon once.
But even if he siphons me, I will use my high risk investment to take
that's
his money
why.
back,
Yeah.
and I'm investing in his
course.
future as
Yep.
well as mine.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, so he goes again. See CVS.
That's CVS, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe trashing the CVS was good.
Only 1
If he knew
credit.
that, if
I
he knew
know.
the knife was coming, he would have seen another card,
Yeah.
perhaps. and he's going to install that Hades shard for free by accessing archives.
Yeah. And now he's ready for the late game, which is most likely Keyhole, and then he can use the shard whenever he thinks there are agendas in.
So now I did jump down to 6 credits. However, with the high risk investment, I have a lot, as much money as he does, which is lovely. So I'm not actually concerned about Siphon anymore, besides when it comes to scoring in a remote.
So you keep checking EAP for the 2 trash card, which I think is important. Most people don't take enough time to look through the runner's EAP.
It's incredibly important.
Even when the runner just overdraws and discard at the end of his turn, I think it's always good to just check what cards. Because you can see maybe influence card, maybe you can see cards that are not useful for him right now, so you can deduct why would he trash those cards.
Generally, you see things if they discard a breaker. Generally, they have another copy of the breaker. You get a lot of information. Andrej looks like he's going to do the Joshua B right now. So he's going to be tagged. That is a risky proposition, but arguably with 3-pointers, either of us are on game point. So maybe he wants to move right now. Keyhole is a thing that can exist now with the Eater and
it's too expensive
shard.
though. He only has 6 credits, so
Yeah,
if he installs the Keyhole, but he had to click through it. We'll see.
So that's a Keyhole. He
All
has still a full turn, and I think there's 8 credits on that liberated. So I think you can get a couple Keyhole runs in, and even you don't have to break it. You can let me take money. You just for sure don't want 2 tags.
2 tags bad.
2 tags is bad.
But he's gonna have 1 tag now.
So taking another seems like a bad idea. He sees 2 pieces.
I think
ice.
he sees a Scorch, so that's pretty huge because he's gonna trash the Scorch.
That's a big deal.
So the Keyhole is not bad against Seasource.
Well, still with Atlas always on, you have to be worried about something.
Now 0 credit. So what is he gonna do?
Take money off liberated.
Probably and go
Maybe
again.
clear the tag. I'm not even sure.
Clear what tag? He takes the tag at the end of his turn.
Yeah, totally.
That's why it's pretty
he's
risky.
Stuck in this. I would use the same old thing. There's nothing good to use it on.
If you're gonna take tags, just keep the Corp broke and.
But
just
then
go
you'd be triple tagged and then you get scorched and traffic accident. That's dead.
If you have money though.
I have high risk investment.
Maybe but if he has 0 credit.
I don't know. So he actually sees the Lotus Field again. There's only 1 in the deck, and that's a mid-season's gone. That's a good call. But with Keyhole...
At the same time, he's already at 4 points, so when are you getting the mid-season? Yeah, maybe the 2 other cards were not that great.
So he has 2 credits. He can do that one more time.
And he only needs 1 3-point. That's it. He only needs 1 3-point.
And with the shard, he doesn't even have to run for it.
Exactly. So if there's a 3-point, that's it.
Looks like he's not going to have that. There's a Jackson in there, though, which is a huge thing you want to trash with. I think that's my priority, even over agendas, if I'm keyholing.
It doesn't really matter. With the AD shard, priority goes to the runner.
That's
he can
true.
use his AD shard whenever he sees a 3-point. So right now, if he sees a 3-point, whatever Jacksons you have...
I can trash the shard now, though. He's tagged.
But it costs you money.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of that. And I can't high-risk investment off of him.
0.
That's fantastic. Well played. So it looks like... I probably should protect
R&D, so it costs more to get in.
Yeah, it's going to be really annoying if I don't deal something.
Yeah, I think.
Because you can break your back getting in over and over and again. You just need to find 3 points. And that's 3 fresh accesses every time. That's a lot.
And you also always have this Project Atlas with 1 counter on it.
I can always panic and pull something out,
you
which
could
is important.
You could already pull Edge Fund, which would not be that bad.
Yeah.
But now you pay 2, trash the remaining credits.
And I'm going to install a card.
Oh,
that's
with 3 credits. That's definitely a Jackson.
That has
to be a Jackson.
There's no way that's an Atlas.
And with 3 credits, so your eye's probably something that you can res with 3. So Enigma or something.
Enigma seems good.
Yeah.
So he has no money and no way to make money besides clicking for credits. This is the very interesting time. Whether
Siphon.
or not. Yeah, but the decision is: do you clear tags? Credit tag?
No. I already have 1 tag. I'm gonna take my Joshua B Siphon.
There's a really large difference in this matchup between having 1 tags and 2 and more.
Yep. Yeah, maybe. Probably I've had worse at some point in my end, and I'm gonna go for Siphon and just see Keyhole cards. So with my shard out, only need 3 points.
Yeah.
So you're gonna play I've had worse.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So he's playing 1, and I think there's 1 already in the heap.
Yeah.
So there's only 1 more keeping him alive. And you notice, as Max is, it always happens, Max's deck is getting really low at this point. He has to be concerned about Leviing. And you need 5 credits to Levi. That's that's something at this point.
And you also need the same old thing.
Yep.
And now you're tagged. So I
Deja Vu.
can just trash your...
Yeah.
Deja Vu is 2 more credits, so you need 7 if you're going
Yeah.
to Deja Vu. And also...
I think right now that same old thing is going to be my target. He throws out a bunch of cards. You need to look at that. You can't let him throw out a bunch of stuff. So that's in 2 Ivanoirs, I think. All the Siphons. The Levi's definitely in there.
Yep.
And day jobs are also mostly gone. I think 2. Maybe if he's unlucky 3. So there's no burst economy coming up. I have an idea of how the econ's going to look for a couple turns. So that's an Enigma on HQ. Take a credit. And
Trash same old thing.
yeah, I'm definitely going to trash same old thing. I just want to see what the numbers look
But
like.
you get down to 2 credit,
Yeah,
which...
it's rough. I can't.
rough.
If there's an Enigma on R&D, won't be able to res it. So, thinking about it, yeah, that's the same old thing done. All right. So now the Deja Vu, I think, is his only way back. There is one I've had worse in hand, and I think now there's only 2 cards left.
I think I would check with the Keyhole, just in case. 3
Just
point?
face check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah.
What
can I
ice
res
can you
for
break?
2? I know.
Yeah.
So-
Ice wall? I'll break the ice wall, and the I don't even care about Shadow anymore.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to use the Deja Vu. I think he's going to be pulling back the Levi.
He
This-
has to go for Levi.
Yeah, but this is the interesting thing now. You're taking the Levi and putting it in your grip, and you're tagged. Mm-hmm. So now the Levi went from the heap into the only place that I can actually kill it.
And well, you could have killed the Deja Vu for sure.
Oh yes,
Like-
but it could
that
have
would
been
have
those
been
2
risky,
cards.
yeah. All right, so we'll see.
So that's 2 more
He
credits.
doesn't have enough credit for it.
No,
that's
the
the problem.
It's gonna be a while, and he still is tagged, not clearing that tag. Yeah, so he still is respecting the traffic accident, not using Joshua B for more clicks. I mean for more clicks and tags, which is interesting. And still both of us just kind of dancing on knife point.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I do have a sea source in hand, and I think I've had it for most of the game. There was a point a long time ago where I was trying to contemplate whether it's worth it.
Yeah.
What's the chance if I've had worse? Looks like I'm going to go for the Scorch.
Yeah, just
Gotta
try
get rid
for
of it.
Levi.
Yeah. And those other 2 cards are going to be, the last 2 cards in his stack are going to be milled. They're going to be thrown out automatically. So 4 cards, there we go. That's a Levi, and the last I've had worse. So he only has 3 cards left. 1 Scorch will win the game. And I take a credit.
So instead of clicking to take 3 with the high-risk investment, which might put you in the credit range
totally
for
should have done
Scorch.
that. Very much
I
should
think
have
so.
done that.
What are you gonna use your two?
Never going to use them.
Yeah,
I have this
exactly.
thing in my head in which I only use them if it's going to win me the game.
Yeah,
I don't. Expendable resources. It's like potions in games.
Because now you could.
Yeah. So he
You
runs
can
there.
still Project Atlas just for the Scorch, and
All 3
like-
Scorch are actually inside the archives.
it doesn't matter. Your Jackson is probably on the board.
Yeah. So he's going to credit, and sure gamble,
Yeah.
which is 1 card out of a hand. Not the biggest difference. And now I get to do this really fun Weyland combo. Take 2 credits. All right, I still don't use the high risk.
Use Jackson.
Jackson to only shuffle 1 card in.
One.
One
That's all
card.
you need.
And
He's
then-
like, I'm just gonna put 1.
And immediately outlets
Yeah.
that out. And hey,
Great.
that department block just went up in
Oh,
flames.
Max decked herself.
Yeah,
That's
that
fine.
happens. Max
Yeah.
is so much fun to play. You have to balance all these different resources, cards, money, and I find it very exciting. Really well played. That was a very exciting game, I think, on both sides.
Yeah, I think so. It proves the power of Weyland. You can score agenda. You don't always have to just kill. So
Yeah.
It's
Excellent.
interesting.
Perfect. Hey, well, thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. There'll be more videos coming up in the near future. Thank
See
you.
ya. Bye.
Ciao.